all over. Put your hands together right now for Rafa, Camargo!
One more time for Kylie Troop, everybody. Good to be here, Tempe. It's good. I spent the last year living in Austin, Texas. Any Texans in here? Good. It was very interesting living out there. The first show I did when I got to Austin, I was doing a joke about how I just became an American citizen 2 years ago. And just for fun, I asked the audience, I was like, hey, does anyone in here want to yell out where you think I'm from? And this lady in the back was like, Jew! Totally missed the question. It's like, can you show it to me on a map?
That's right, though.
I'm not Adam Sandler, bro. I don't know what the fuck you think is going on right now. I'm not Jewish. I am Brazilian. That's the country that I was born in. Any Brazilians in here? No, because they're probably all out doing DoorDash. That's probably what the fuck's going on. Every time I meet one of my own people, they're handing me food. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, I kept my California ID the entire time I was in Austin, and every time I'd go to a bar and I'd get carded, the bartender would ask me if I was just visiting, to which I would reply no, and then he would tell me to go back where I came from. That happened to me more times in the 1 year that I was in Austin with a California ID than the 23 years that I was an immigrant, a green card holder in this country. That's how much they hate Californians. They're like, we'll take illegals, but fuck you. I was born in Brazil, and then when I was 4 years old, my mom moved us to Waco, Texas. Yeah, and we lived in Waco until one day there was this terrible fire, and all these agents came running into our home. Not a big cult crowd. Okay. Yeah, I was born in Brazil. I have a weird family. Like me and my mom are the only ones that escaped my country. And when I was born, my mom was not okay with the doctors touching me at all for any reason, so I wasn't circumcised. And then I moved to America, and you guys seem to be oddly weirded out by foreskin for whatever fucking reason. I went to the doctor when I was 8, and the doctor told my mom, like, hey, you should probably circumcise your kid for cleaning purposes. And my mom was like, yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out. So I was circumcised at 8. A couple of the dudes are looking at me like I fought in Nam. Yeah, we lost a lot of good skin out there that day, boys. But I get it, right? She had good intentions. She wanted me to be a happy, healthy boy. That I understand. What I thought was weird is that when I woke up from surgery, my whole family had flown out from Brazil to see my dick heal. You know how many birthdays and Christmases they missed? But they're like, dude, he's getting dick surgery. Let's get tickets tonight. We should be there. How fun of a surprise would that be, huh? Every 45 minutes, the doctors were coming up to look at my wiener, and my grandma was in the back like, "E parece que a tortuga saiu, eh?" Which in Portuguese, that means the turtle has left its shell. Pretty awkward. I was in 4th grade. I was in the 4th grade. I went back to school after a month and a half of being gone because of the surgery, and all the kids were like, dude, where have you been? And then I got kicked out of show and tell. You laughed way too hard at that, dude. You really are creepy. Holy fuck. Devin called that shit. Oh my god. Yeah, but I'm working on my shit. I just started going to therapy as an adult last year. Thank you, white women. I appreciate you. When I started doing therapy, my therapist asked me, she goes, hey, where do you want to start? And I said, I'm the kind of guy that wears a shirt in the pool. I think it should be illegal for me to freeze a nipple. I have B cups, you know what I mean? Like, it should be, it's wrong. But you say that to your therapist, and she starts asking a lot of questions. So I explained to her, I was like, look, when I was a kid, I was on a family vacation. I used to do this thing where I would put my Walkman headphones on, but I'd turn the volume down so I could hear my family talking shit about each other, right? A few of you? Okay. Yes. Oh, yes, okay. I was on a family vacation, I had my Walkman headphones on, the volume turned down, and I overheard my grandma tell everyone in the car that if I didn't outgrow my man boobs, that we would just surgically remove them. And I knew they weren't messing around because 2 years before that, they took my fucking foreskin, dude. I knew they were serious. My ears perked up. I'm paying attention now. And I was like, wow, you guys are really embarrassed by this? I should keep it covered forever. My therapist was like, dude, that's why you wear the shirt in the pool. And I was like, this is the best $200 I've spent in a long time. But it did get me thinking, right? Imagine if my grandparents had taken my tits. The way that society and gender has evolved in the last 20 years, would I just be out at a pool party and someone would see me and come up to me and be like, wow, with the beard and everything, good for you. And I'd be like, no, I've been a man my whole life. And they'd be like, you sure have, yes you have. It's an awkward conversation, you know? I'm in a pretty gay relationship, though. I am dating a woman. She is bisexual, and she's been mostly dating women for the last 6 years. I like to make the joke that she's not my girlfriend, she's my boyfriend. Our first date, we spent the first hour of our first date with her underneath the car trying to fix the muffler because it was too loud. And her yelling at me because I couldn't hold the flashlight right, and I was like, dude, I didn't have a dad growing up, but I'm fucking dating one. Holy shit. Yeah, our relationship's pretty gay. I have longer hair than hers, right? So like the first time I went to go down on her, like my hair kept getting in the way. So the next time she brought me like a Ziploc bag full of old hair ties. She's like, see, now you can go down on me, babe. You know, like it's a total man move. I was like, all right. So I put my hair up, and I don't mind going down on my girlfriend. I just hate when her clit hits the back of my throat, you know what I mean? That one's mostly for me, but okay. Some cool people in this room, I dig it. No, she's great. She gets really into the whole my girlfriend is my boyfriend thing. Like when we're fooling around now, she'll like whisper in my ear like, I'm so hard. And then she fucks me, dude, it's crazy. She has a 3-year-old. She has a 3-year-old kid, which kind of freaked me out at first. I didn't know how that was going to be for me. I've never dated a girl with such a young kid. And first time hanging out with the kid, I was like, this might be all right. We were in the car. It was me, my girlfriend, the kid, and the kid's grandma. And the kid's grandma was like, oh man, I put in the wrong address on the stupid GPS. And my girlfriend was like, can we please not say that word? And the kid from the back was like, don't say that fucking word! I just looked at my girlfriend and she goes, at least she used it right. You know what I mean? She's just using it right. It's good, it's good. Yeah, I went through a pretty bad breakup during COVID. It's one of those breakups, like I got really close with her family, and like I said, I never had a dad growing up, so when we broke up, her dad called me a few hours later and was like, hey buddy, I heard what happened, and you know we can't be friends anymore. And I cried more during that conversation than my actual fucking breakup. Don't fucking awe me. But I understood a lot because like I met my dad when I was 22. He didn't even know I existed. I called this man up, I got his phone number, I called this man up, I was like, hey, I'm your son. And then he just cried for 15 minutes, and I was like, this makes so much sense why I'm such a fucking pussy, dude. Oh my gosh. Learned more in that 15-minute phone call than my entire life with my mom. It was crazy. I did become an American citizen 2 years ago. Going to be 3 this summer, which was a big deal. Thank you very much. Yeah. I almost didn't make it into the country, though, because I had an arrest on my record when I was 22, so I had to go into a federal building and be interviewed by a federal agent specifically about my arrest record. And I had to tell her the story, so I told her, I was like, hey look, I was 22, I'd gone out drinking with a buddy of mine, and at the end of the night, he was going to drop me off at my mom's apartment complex, and we were sitting right outside the gate, and he looked at me and he was like, dude, I have this bottle and some weed if you want to keep partying. And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds like fun. So we were sitting in his car taking shots of Jameson and smoking weed out of a Monster can. He was like, I have this weed, but I don't have a pipe, I don't know how we're gonna smoke. And I was like, dude, I've been in the 8th grade, I can make a pipe out of anything. And I grabbed this Monster can from the passenger side floor and poked some holes into it. And we got so fucked up, we didn't even realize the cop had rolled up on us until he was at the driver's side window. And he just knocked on it and then was like, what are you guys doing? And I was mid-hit on the Monster pipe and it made me laugh, so all the weed went exploding off the top. It's a real waste of a bowl. But he asked us for our IDs, and as we're handing over the IDs, he goes, how do you boys know each other? And I had to look at this cop in the face and say, sir, we met on a Facebook forum for slacklining. And like all of you, he had no idea what the fuck that was. But it's an extreme sport where you put this rope in between two trees and you walk along the rope with a little bit of slack in it, right? So I tried to explain that to him. I was like, it's where you get this rope. And he goes, oh, I don't need to hear the rest of this. I was like, we have it in the trunk. And he looked at it. He's like, yeah, it still seems pretty gay to me. I don't know what I'm looking at. But then we asked the cop, I was like, why'd you roll up on us? And he goes, well, I don't know if you boys know, but this is the #1 hotspot for male prostitution in this town. So he thought someone was soliciting dick in the car. And I was like, man, the whole slackline thing really didn't help our case up until this moment. But he did catch us smoking and drinking, right? So he pulled us out of the car, and we were both being interviewed by separate officers, and about 30 minutes went by, and then 2 more squad cars showed up, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to jail. And the new cops went and talked to the old cops, and this new cop came up to me, and he was like, hey buddy, how much cocaine have you done tonight? And I just smiled, and I said, none. He goes, why are you smiling? And I was like, because this is the first time in my adult life I can honestly tell you, sir, I've done 0 cocaine tonight. But I was like, why do you ask? And he goes, your buddy over there is 8 grams in pre-weighed out baggies and about $700 in cash. Yeah, dude, I got so fucking mad because we could have been having such a fun time that night. Are you kidding? I'm not going down for this, dude. Cop did an eye test. He's like, all right, I believe you haven't done any cocaine tonight, but I do need to arrest you for public intoxication. It's like, all right, man, if that's what you got to do. So he handcuffed me. He's leading me towards the car, and I just couldn't help myself, so I stopped him. I was like, hold on a second, officer, 1 second. Out of the 2 of us, which one did you think was the prostitute? And then he leaned in really close to my ear, and he was like, oh, you're going to be real popular where you're going. And I was like, fuck. It's probably the tits. I don't know. It's probably the tits. I'm Rafa Camargo. Thank you guys so much.